family milestones, and Merla and Johnny, some of you know, some of you maybe don't know, that they celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary in September. And some of you don't know, but there's a few people in the wedding party here that were with them in the wedding party. There are two young bridesmaids, Thelma, who was 15, Evelyn, who was 16, and their flower girl, me. I was 4. So this story, to start with, is actually a true story of all of how Merla and Johnny met, and their wedding, and their honeymoon. And believe it or not, we told this story on the 50th. It seems like yesterday. And this was, like Merla told me, the actual facts of what happened. It's really quite fascinating.
Really?
So we're going to have the story. It's called Cinderella Marries Prince Charming. It's a fairy tale love story. Chapter 1 is called The Courtship. Once upon a time in the kingdom of Maidstone, many years ago, a handsome young prince, John Coppic, spied a pretty young maiden, Merla Redler.
Right now.
It's
Coppic.
And John persuaded his sister Jean to introduce Merla to him at a ball game at which the couple were both pitchers on opposing teams. So after the game, the courtship began over a Coke at the Star Cafe in Maidstone, and it was, as history has shown, love at first sight. Now, the romance blossomed with Saturday night smooching in the back row at the Maidstone Theatre, followed by a Coke or an orange float at the Star Cafe. Merla spent hours crimping at the farm, daydreaming about John. And when she milked the cows, and this is a true story, she was careful to cover the rollers in her hair with a thick scarf so not to smell like the cows when she milked them.
Actually, I asked her to milk the cow, and then she wouldn't do it.
Now her younger and brattier sister Thelma, she always smirked at Merla, sitting still as a mouse on the way to town to Maidstone so not to mess her hair before she met John in Maidstone Saturday night. Sister Evelyn recalls Merla twisting her ankle, rushing to answer John's phone calls, only to have her face fall when she discovered the call was from Lauren Olson. Another super thing. My dad.
You
Yeah, we do that.
He did a good job at the Little Lake Golf Course, but he never had a chance. Merla's mother, Mom, her grandma, and great-grandma. She ensures adequate supervision during the dates by walking up and down the squeaky upstairs halls of the Rudler farm home as the young lovers necked on the couch downstairs. With Jim and I, she used to flick the light. Chapter 2 is called The Engagement. Well, it was during the trip to Trail where Merla, with her best friend Vi, went to visit their boyfriends, John and Reg Stevenson, that Johnny popped the question. He picked a romantic setting, the boarding house where he lived. The proposal. Now he recalls you needed a magnifying glass to see the diamond. But there was never a doubt in the young couple's minds that they would be married. So the wedding date was set for John's birthday, August the 29th. Well, a few days later, reality set in, and John wrote Merla a 4-page letter to tell her that they couldn't be married on August 29th. He didn't have enough money for a new suit. So, the wedding of
And that was a cheap one.
So the wedding of Cinderella and Prince Charming was set for September 29th, 1951. Chapter 3, the wedding. Well, the wedding day dawned, and all was not perfect. It had snowed the night before, and there was a heavy frost. The young bride went skipping out to the outhouse and had a great start to her wedding day, and she slipped on the ice and fell flat on her behind. So she was just recovering from this when Keith Kopic, John's brother and the best man, he called to say to Merla, "John has cold feet, the wedding's off." Well, Merla couldn't believe her ears. This couldn't be true. Of course it wasn't. Ha ha ha. And there was turmoil at the farm because the reception planned at the Ruddlers on the farm had to be moved to the Legion in town because of the bad roads. So all the food and goodies were loaded and transported, and Connie had to be a baby, 1-year-old, so I guess Mom was carrying her under here while she's loading the goodies. The young bridesmaids were no help. 15-year-old Thelma and 16-year-old Evelyn were too busy fixing their hair and the makeup to have much time to help the poor bride. So Merla donned her wedding gown. And before, she even had time to look in the mirror, the 4-year-old flower girl Dale stepped on the veil and tore a big hole. Merla's mother came to the rescue with a needle and thread. Well, Dale, who was reprimanded, decided she was now not going to be flower girl. She stresses the poor bride even more. Merla's dad, ever easygoing with a twinkle in his eye and never failing to use common sense, says, "Merla, I think you need a drink." Oh, Grandpa. So after a strong whiskey, Merla on her dad's arm is ready to walk down the aisle. Cinderella was lovely, and her bride's dress, brought in North Battleford, complete with mended veil. Her bouquet was white gladiolas with rose inserts. Prince Charming was handsome in his $135 double-breasted suit. He couldn't afford new shoes, but he polished the old ones and said the buttons were scuffy, but no one noticed. Reverend Mitchell performed the ceremony. Mrs. Mitchell, no relation, iced the cake made by Merla's mom. Cinderella and Prince Charming were wed. Chapter 4. The honeymoon.
Not even us.
You don't want me to tell this part. After the reception, the couple, complete with delicious farm cooking, the couple danced to their wedding song, "I Love You Truly." Following an evening of celebration, they were escorted by well-wishers to the train and off to Edmonton on their much-awaited honeymoon. Someone gave the nervous groom an open bottle of beer, which he managed to spill en route. Well, it must have been a good night, because when the newlyweds awoke, they were in Edmonton, alone in the coach, on a sidetrack, with not a soul around. A taxi ride delivered them to their first home, which unfortunately was not quite ready. Merla and John were moved to move into a basement suite at Art and Meg Lovers. The suite was not ready, so Meg gave them one of the family bedrooms. Well, this is where things became interesting and went from bad to worse. The first thing the young couple did was break the bed. Woo! Yes, it's true. Can't you imagine what Art Lover was thinking as he brought a 2x4 up to fix the camera?
Oh boy.
Bonnie says somebody's gonna get hell over this. Next, the anxious bride opened her suitcase only to have macaroni and confetti fly all over the front. Meg Lover was called to bring the vacuum. Well, the nervous bride then went into the bathroom and was mortified when she plugged the toilet. Folks, the fact that the newlyweds survived the honeymoon is our first clue as to how they survived 60 years of marriage. Although not even the lover's dog would eat Cinderella's first attempts at baked bun. She improved. The couple's marriage has withstood the joys and tears, the celebration and challenges of 60 years, and their love and respect for each other has deepened through the years. So ends the story of a young couple in the kingdom of Maidstone who sit before us today celebrating a 60th wedding anniversary. To you both, from your family and your friends, you have our love and our respect and our best wishes for continued good health and happiness. And Cinderella and Prince Charming live happily ever after. The end is written by your flower girl, David.
So Merla and John.
Now,
Here, Scott.
Connie, we've got some champagne, of course. And Shelley and Erin, you're going to pop the champagne. And Donnie, our brother-in-law Donnie, is going to come up and make a little toast. Oh, yeah. Come on. Come up here. And everybody's going to get a glass of champagne.
Be brave, eh?
Yeah, be brave.
A glass of champagne. Oh, here goes my daughter. Donnie, just a minute here. We get our champagne.
The ladies want champagne.
The ladies with the champagne.
I'm trying to pay, but not in the light. Try not to put a light out. Or not. Ready?
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
3, 2.
I want to
For everybody. Even the kids get a little sick.
Champagne, yeah.
Dale, you're too much.
There you are.
I am, yes.
Yes.
I don't think she'll mind, though. Don't.
Just give a little bit for the kids.
All right, here's
I
the
picked a
tea.
good flower.
I should have videoed you crawling underneath. That would have been way better.
Even if she ripped my neck. Then she was.
She's behind you.
And Ellen said she's our kid's bride.
What do you think?
She was mad about
Some
it.
orange juice.
Tiny little
for you.
sip.
Sure.
He wants a little
It's not going to be a bridesmaid. You have a little time.
You won't like it, so don't.
Don't get ready. Erin, everybody got it? Just
Put it-
wait.
just
I got one.
wait till they toast.
Sandy, you got one?
Yep, thank you.
All right. Has everybody got something? Sandy, you want whatever?
Has everybody got a glass?
All right, these are for kids. You want a big one though?
Except John.
Boys, you gotta have one toast.
How about John and Merla?
How about John and Merla?
Anybody not have one?
Yes, John and Merla.
Oh, dear.
Even Hudson's having it. Hudson.
Okay,
You.
Once more.
okay,
David's gonna have a sip.
okay, stop with the videoing, dude.
I'm just doing what I was told.
Keep on it. Keep on it. Keep steady hand.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I've got the honor of proposing a toast to John and Merla. People who I have respected and loved all my life. As a, this is why I don't do this. Everybody else.
Sure is short.
Yeah, it'll be short anyhow. But I do respect yous, and I know everyone else does here, and you've helped everybody through the years. You have many more, guys, So here's to John and Merla.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Come on, Kenny.
We want the bride and the groom. Yeah. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Sure.
Thanks so much, Scott.
Not a problem.
Everybody ready with those cameras?
Stand up and have a kiss. Come on. The bride and groom are going to kiss if you get your cameras ready.
I got sore feet today and I can't stand up.
Oh, you can stand up for a kiss.
Kiss the bride.
Kisses. Aww. One more. Some more. Smoochie. Aww.
Oh, now they're going to break the bed again tonight.
You guys know how much work she could do.
And now we have the cutting of the wedding cake. Okay.
Oh, my goodness sakes. Oh, look at that.
Good looking. That's pretty.
That's a good $135 was a lot of money back then.
No kidding.
Oh, my goodness. You guys are too much.
And the napkins, if you notice the napkins, they are Grandma and Grandpa Rudler's 60th wedding anniversary napkins.
Oh, for God's sake.
Excuse me, I'm downsizing, so I'm cleaning out. Why am I saving those?
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny, this is too much. Oh, wonderful you guys look. How wonderful you look. Look at how we were young. Okay, yes. We were Great tears to one eye. Oh my goodness, what a surprise. Everybody's waiting.
Quiet.
What do you want to say something?
Johnny's making a speech.
Thank everybody. 100 times, 1,000 more.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And to the wedding party, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Bridesmaids are a little more help today than they were then.
That's a little bit.
I want to get a picture of that cake.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It
It's beautiful, look at the mom and dad.
Don't dump it.
We're nervous.
Can you kind of bend over a little bit?
I can get you.
There you go.
Smile. I know. Merla, look, that's awesome.